Welcome to Paul's Toolbox. Today I'm going to cover casing in my two side windows. This is plate glass back here, and I made this window, opening window, so you can look back there and it looks like this is actually the finished window. You can't tell you have glass back here, but you really do, because I cased it all the way up to the frame. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the side, except I'm not going to have them to where they open. The first thing you want to do on here is make your cased in opening, and you want it to fit right up against the edge of the glass. Now, when you do this with the cased in opening, you want to make it to where it can slip in and out. So I make it a 1/16 of an inch smaller on the sides and on the top. So if this is 10 inches, you go 9 and 15/16 here, or you can even go 9 and 7/8. You can make it an 1/8 inch smaller, so you have a 1/16 of an inch gap on both sides. Just make sure you can slide it in and out both ways. That way, when this is all set in here, you can just push it in and tack it in place, and you're fine. You're good to go. I didn't cover this because it's just butt cuts. All I did was cut this and tack it in place and glued it. And now I have my solid frame. We're going to trim it out. My first cut's going to be 45 3/8. So, take my tape, put it here, and I'll get this measurement, 45 3/8. I like to use a speed square to get my line all the way across, because I like to make sure I see my whole mark when the blade goes against it. Now, when doing this, you want to wear safety goggles. And I'm only making 1 or 2 cuts, quick cuts, so I'm not going to put my earmuffs on or ear protection, but I'm definitely going to wear a mask because I'm cutting cedar especially, and it bothers me. I like these RZ masks. They work really well. I can wear my glasses, and you see these little vents, they push downward. So it doesn't fog up my glasses like the other ones would. All right, we'll get this baby done. One. Now I need 9 3/16, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these two 9 3/16. I'll get a long board for that one. We're ready for our face frame. This is so simple. Once you have your outside frame set up, or the inside part, you just set it down here, and we're going to get some marks on here. Now, you can use an adjustable square. You can use a number of different things to get the right reveal. But this is a cool little tool, and I have the link in the description box below where you can go right to the other video and see how to make this. I marked this one off right here, and now we're going to do this one. Now, as long as this is square, everything's going to look perfect. So this right here gives me my reveal both ways. It gives me my top and my side. Now, if you want a longer line, you can just take it and move it back here, because the distance is the exact same. So you have a line right there and there. We'll go and put it on this side. Goes to the right or the left. And like I said, an adjustable square can set that for you, and you can roll here with it. But this keeps it in place when you're installing, and it's much easier than using an adjustable square. So for this part, we're just going to mark it off, and then we can get our measurements. I didn't need to mark that one, and I can take it here and do the same thing. All right, once you have this marked off, all you have to do is take your tape measure, and I'm going to pull 1 inch. Pulling 1 inch means I'm going to take it and set it right on the 1 inch mark, and you can see I go right here. I have 10 3/16, which means it is actually 9 3/16. Once you have your marks on here, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to use this little tool, set it up here, and I'll just put a clamp on it. Now, if I had an 8-foot length to a run to go off of, all I have to do is set it on there and measure here, and I've got a perfect measurement. So right now we have 45 3/8. There are a number of ways to tackle this, but I'm going to show you a couple real quick. If you're making 2 of them, it's easy as could be. It's a no-brainer. You set one right on your line here, and you match it up with the line up top, okay?
You could measure it, and then you can measure from here to here and add the width of these two with it, and that's another way to do it. Or if you don't want to do that and you don't have another board, you can take a clamp and you can clamp one right in position. You can take another small board, a little scrap piece, and you measure from here to here, and that's going to give you your exact measurement. Like I said, there's so many different ways to do it to get this done right. And right here we have 16 and 7/16. So that's what we're going to go with. 16 and 7/16. I'm going to cut 2 of these. I'm going to use my pocket hole setup by Craig. And I'll tell you, this is my favorite way to put stuff together like this. I'm going to show you an easy way to set it up. I mean, it's easy to set up. I just want to show you how it's done. A lot of times I'll just clamp things and put it together and people don't really realize. So we're going to cover this real quick. This is adjustable. So I'll take my piece and put it in there, and before I clamp it, I'll move this back and forth to where I can clamp it. When it's just to where I can clamp real tight, I'll spin my back nut right here to lock it in place. That's it. That's set up for my 3/4 inch stock. Now, if you look right here, it says 3/4, 1/2, all the way up, and then on this side it goes 5/8. It goes in different increments, but it goes all the way up to 1 3/8 on this side. It goes up to 1 1/2 on this side. What you do is you take this while the collet's loose, you set it in place. You bring this part back, the flat part, until it matches up with the stock you have. That's 3/4 inch. That's where my collet needs to go. I'll slide it this way, spin it around where I can get my Allen wrench on it. They give you an Allen wrench, and all you do is snug that puppy up once you have it in place. Well, if you're better than me, you can do it. All right. I'll lock that down right there, and it's ready to go. That's going to give me the proper depth. Now you'll set this up, and this tells you what the thickness stock you have is, and you just move it up and down, and that's going to put the hole in the right spot for you, the depth. It's going to align the depth up. So let me back this off. Get it all the way back where I can slide it. And then I'm going to go into 3/4 inch stock right there. When I'm set on 3/4 inch. And this is set at 3/4 inch, and this clamps, we're good. When you go to make your holes, make sure you know how your piece is going to go on there. This is going to go on just like this. So I would either put my holes this way on here or this way on here. I'm going to choose to do it this way because it's a shorter board this way, and it makes it easier for me. I want my holes to be in the back, so I'm going to put my face facing forward here. I'll put it right to the end. So I know when this is clamped, I'm going to have a hole here and a hole here, and that's going to be plenty. So we'll take this, drill this hole, and one here. We're going to do the same thing on this side, but you want to make sure that you keep that hole aligned. So you'll put it over here, and I'm just going to flush it right with the edge just like I did the other one. That one's ready. I don't put an instant glue on this because, or I'm not going to on this because I want to have a little working time. Now, you'll take these, you line them up. Once you line them up, you put this clamp on them, and that keeps them perfectly aligned with each other and flat. So when I screw them, you're going to get a nice tight fit. If you don't have this on here, they can pull, one will pull up and they won't be flush. I'm going to use my 1.5 inch screws in here, and that's going to bite in pretty well. Once the glue dries on there, this isn't going anywhere. You can feel that bite. Now they have plugs you can put in here, but I'm not going to need to because this goes right against the wall. If I take it just like that and I squeeze it, it's going to put them in the same position so I have the same reveal all the way down. That's where this comes in a lot more handy than your regular square, adjustable square, because it sets you exactly where you want to be, and it can line things up the easy way. Whoop. Yeah, it'd be nice if I did it right, huh? That's it. That one's done. Here's my glass. I wanted an old looking glass to match my bathroom, and I wanted something that you really couldn't see through from a distance. On my frame, I ripped 8 strips. I ripped four long ones and 4 short ones. The long ones are full length and they're 5/16 of an inch thick. And then of course I painted them the same way. So I tacked the first ones in with my nail gun, and I'm only using these little bitty 3/4 inch nails. Now there's one thing that I do not like about this Airstrike. Everything else I love about it. It's a great gun by Ryobi. The battery lasts, everything lasts on it. But I noticed when I go to put a full strip on here, I have to break a piece off to get it to close, because it will not close with the full strip on there. It'll fit in here, but you go to close it and it won't close. Ryobi needs to address that. Other than that, that gun's fantastic. I've had it for a few years and I use it all the time. Set this down in here. And we'll tack our piece. Now I can go ahead and set them in. Push them down tight on there. And I'm only going to put a couple tacks in here. Like I said, I just don't want this to fall out. I'm okay with it not being super tight on there. Like I said, I just don't want it to fall out, because I want to be able to take and pop these off if I have to get my glass and clean it and stuff like that, or to repaint this. So now I can take with my tiny nails, shoot it on an angle. It's going to be a little hard to get in that corner. I'll tack it right here. Right here. Got plenty of room here. I want to make sure I don't shoot down there and hit my glass. This is going to look pretty slick in the bathroom. Let's go try it out. Well, this is all done and we're ready to put it in. If you check this out right here, it has this crackle and old look to it. And I can show you how to do this. It's a simple process, but I'd like for people to give me some feedback. Let me know if you want to see something like this, and I'll be happy to show you how I did it. Well, with the window, all you need to do is slip it in place, okay? And once I slip it in place, I can tack it in and it's going to stay there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's pretty decent little fit. Now, I will secure it with a couple of screws, one on the top and one on the bottom, or one on the 2 sides. It doesn't matter. You don't need a bunch of them. Just 2 screws, one on each side, will keep this in place. If you notice on the video, I didn't have a raspy voice at the beginning of this when I started this project, and I do now, because it was a couple of weeks ago when I did it. I went up to Oregon to learn some new techniques on working with epoxies, and I met up with a good friend of mine, Mike Quist, with Stone Coat Countertops. See the hat right there? Catherine, his wife, was very supportive and showed me a lot of stuff as well, and his brother Mitch. The whole family, the whole crew over there are fantastic people. I had a great time, and you'll see it in some of my videos, or their videos, and I will be sharing them on my site. That's Stone Coat Countertops. This guy has more information on working with epoxy than you can ever imagine. But I learned some great new techniques on how to work with epoxy. I've done it in the past, but I have not done it to the level that they do it with. And now I'm going to be doing all types of new things, because all kind of things are running through my head once I started playing with this and seeing the different things that you can do with it. So you'll be seeing some cool projects I think you'll really like on my future videos with stone coat countertop material. All right, another thing is I'm going to be doing a summit with them in April in Las Vegas. And this is going to be a large group of great creators. I'd love to meet you guys. So anyone who's going to be out in Vegas, or if you think you might want to attend this, I'll have the information on this this summit. They're going to have a plethora of information from all of these creators, and I'll have my input as well. I will see you guys on the next project. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out paulstoolbox.com for all my archive videos. Make sure you check out Stone Coat Countertops and drop a comment on my buddy Mike for me. Let him know that Paul's Toolbox sent you over there. I really want to pay back some of the stuff that he's done for me. He's been incredible for me, and he's telling other people about my channel. I'd like to share the information over to him. You might go to his channel and leave mine and go to him for good. I don't know. Let's keep these projects coming.